Hi, this is Lance Strate again, and we're back with Interactive Rams and our special guest this week, Andrew Rasiej, who just gave a wonderful talk to our class. And I was wondering if you could just say a few words, tell us about where you think we're going with all this technology. What is coming around the bend? What should we be looking for?
Well, thank you for having me, Lance, and it's a pleasure to be here, and it's a pleasure to talk to your students. And as I mentioned in my talk, I believe that they are at the vanguard of a major shift in the way we think about media and society, because we are going from a 20th century media ecology of scarcity to a 21st century media ecology of abundance. And at the same time, we're going from a world that relies on text to a world that much more relies on video to transmit ideas. And then you layer in on top of that social networks and other kinds of platforms and tools that allow individuals to connect with each other in new ways, form opinion, organize themselves. We're talking about a major clash between the 20th century and the 21st century, which has business implications, economic implications, educational implications, and in my particular case, where I'm most interested in, political implications.
And what's going to happen with politics?
Well, I think that you're going to see, especially in 2008, the rise of voter-generated content and an entirely new class of political power that's much more in the hands of organized groups, of individuals who use the technologies of social networks, video, email even, to attack the political system, the traditional political system, which I define as the mainstream media, the political parties, and traditional political candidates, and force change, setting the agenda, and establishing new ways of solving problems, and rooting out corruption and creating transparency.
That sounds wonderful. So we're actually going to have honesty in politics?
Well, it won't happen in one cycle, but I believe that the internet is going to deliver eventually an entirely new generation of politicians who recognize that the internet has a memory older than it was born, and that anything they say or do is going to come back and be viewed again and again. So instead of trying to parse their words in a way to fit whatever audience that they're talking to, they'll start telling the truth.
Amazing, amazing. Now, you started the club Irving Plaza.
I did in 1990. I took over an old theater.
I remember going there, although I don't remember what happened after I went there.
Probably because you were drunk.
Yeah, probably. What do you see as the future of entertainment?
Well, I see that the mainstream media companies are going to continue to produce content and movies and television shows, but you're also going to see an entirely new arena of individuals using tools of video and computers to create content for new audiences, new communities of people interested in particular types of entertainment, and it's going to be much more fragmented, much more diverse.
Will people still go out to clubs?
I think that actually the technology, I think the byproduct of the technology, a lot of people have argued that the technology makes people sit at home and makes them less social. I actually believe that the technology makes people want to be closer and closer together, and ultimately deliver a world that understands itself better, and that will deliver for our planet an understanding that nation-states are not nearly as important as they once were, and that an action over here actually impacts the way people live over there, and maybe will create more harmony over time.
And you also did a lot with education, with bringing computers and the internet into schools in New York City.
Thank you for mentioning that. Yes, I founded an organization called mouse.org, which started out wiring New York City public schools back in 1997, but eventually morphed into an organization that actually trains students to build and maintain computer networks in their schools and their communities, and It's now apparently in 26 countries. The program has grown exponentially, and I'm very proud of it, so thanks for mentioning it.
Absolutely. And what are the challenges for educational institutions? What needs to be done?
Well, I think the big challenge for education institutions is to understand that just like the business world that's learning how to connect its employees, customers, and suppliers, schools need to start thinking about how to connect all their stakeholders. That means students, teachers, and parents, community leaders, to 24-hour dynamic networks where information is available instantly and that learning moments can happen wherever a human being is, and that we can create a culture of lifelong learning and get ourselves away from the model of education being delivered through textbooks and classrooms.
Mm. Well, that sounds great, and kids can't hide their bad marks either that way, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Well, I think that this has been wonderful to have you here, and
thank you.
It really is a
come
privilege.
I'll come back
we
again.
We want to see your websites. Let's just mention your websites.
So my websites are personaldemocracy.com,
personaldemocracy.com,
and techpresident.com,
techpresident.com,
and mouse.org.
Mouse.org, and you also mentioned Sunlight.
Oh, sure. There's a great site in Washington, great organization in Washington called the Sunlight Foundation that uses technology to put massive amounts of government data online and allow citizens to understand how their government works and to hold their leaders accountable using new technology. It's called sunlightfoundation.com.
Sunlightfoundation.com. Thank you, Andrew Rasiej.
Thank you very much, Lynn.
And we're signing out.